So the Raiders, the silver and black, another team that's just toiled in mediocrity for a very long time. Anyone who's watched my show for a while knows what I think of Tom Brady and what I think Mark Davis has done. Here's an example of an owner that stepped out of the way, whose father was very much the same way as Jerry Jones. And I think Mark Davis took over and he was much the same. But Mark has learned that what he's doing is not working. He's got to bring more football people in around him. Willie McGinnis is a part owner. Tom Brady is a part owner. You know, they have struggled. They have 3 coaches, I believe, maybe 4 on their payroll right now, as they just brought in Pete Carroll yesterday. 3 or 4 coaches that they are paying without even including Pete Carroll. So they wanted Ben Johnson. They didn't get him. I have my black on today. That just happened by accident. It wasn't planned to wear the black and talk about the Raiders. But Pete Carroll brings a stabilizing coach into the situation. The dude's 74. He's got a lot of energy. He's up and down the sidelines. What I will say about the Raiders is this isn't the solve-all. So there's people going crazy. Oh, my gosh, and Pete Carroll will be gone in 2-3 years. Tom Brady knows that. Here's what he also knows. Again, it's a stabilizing coach who has a large Rolodex, who is well-liked in NFL circles, who will reassemble that team and coaching staff and bring it back to respectability, because Tom Brady won't stand around with 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins on his resume. It is under no circumstance going to happen. Is Pete Carroll the 10-year solution, even the 5-year solution? Nope. But he's going to come in. He's got the energy. He is a proven winner. His systems work. He's a defensive mind, which apparently Brady wanted a little bit of that, but he wanted the offense. You want somebody who's both. Very difficult. Pete has been a little bit stubborn in the past, but I can see him adjusting to a little bit what Brady wants. And I have a feeling that they're going to go and get Russell Wilson. He's an unrestricted free agent here coming up. Apparently, the Steelers are in talks with Russell to keep him there. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it makes all the sense in the world for Russell Wilson to go to Vegas, to play with Pete, to play for Pete Carroll, to help. Again, he's not the long-term solution either. You're not looking for the long-term solution right now. They don't always appear, right? Sometimes you don't get it to work out the way that you wanted. They wanted Ben Johnson. Spytek, which was actually a former teammate of Tom Brady at the University of Michigan. They got him. He was assistant GM in Tampa. Brady's very familiar with him, obviously played with him. Then he was a quarterback, obviously, for Tampa Bay. So he's bringing in somebody he's very familiar with, that believes in his philosophy, that can do what Brady wants. And I keep on saying do what Brady wants. And I hate to go back and repeat. Let me just go off the path here for a moment. Brady's interviewed the other day, and he says, yeah, I didn't come to Fox to leave, and I'm going to fulfill my 10-year contract, and I didn't get into this to then just leave. Come on, Tom. Tom, we understand what's going on, all right? There's no way that you – and no one could blame you. There's no way you're going to sit in that booth and comment on games when you can and or technically should be around the building much more than you are, and I think we all know that you want to be. I think it's either a 5% stake or a 10%. Some reports of a 10% stake of the Raiders. He wants more. I think he's going to get more. There's tons of restrictions as it relates to Fox and what he can do and say and who he can talk to for potential tampering rules. There's too much work, too many workarounds there. And Tom Brady is in a position to rebuild arguably the greatest brand in all of sports history. It's definitely up there with a Steelers brand, a Cowboys brand, the Raiders, obviously, as I just said. I don't see it happening. And so he's building this with people in his likeness. Spytek's there. Carroll bring respectability. Mark Davis is basically giving him keys to the house, and he's gonna build that thing. So I don't think he's gonna stay. But this is a good bridge. He's not gonna stay with Fox. This is a good bridge. Pete Carroll, build your future head coach from within through that Rolodex of Carroll. Continue to hire, top-level coordinators. And Carroll can groom those. It's a live, on-hand mentor who can groom that coach from within not necessarily bring somebody from the outside and teach them or get them up to speed with what you want, but groom that and build that from within. That's what I see happening. And Russell Wilson elevated in age, but I think he clearly showed that he can do some things with the Steelers, but that's a dysfunctional system in my view with the Steelers. Mike Tomlin has become extraordinarily stubborn. And a guy like Arthur Smith isn't far off of that tree branch. And the just mindless things that they do over there, mind-numbing things that they do over there, like put Najee Harris in over Jalen Warren, it just makes no sense. It's almost like, are you trying not to win? Are you trying to be lack productivity? Are you trying to make things harder on yourself? And they just do it over and over and over and over. So Russell Wilson in a system with Pete Carroll, with Brady in the background, where he has a chance to be who he is. There's not a lot over there. We all know that. Running game's an issue. Madison's not the answer. Jacoby Myers at wide receiver, who Brady's familiar with. Brock Bowers is obviously there, who is maybe going to go down as one of the greatest tight ends ever. The dude's just a freak of nature. He did what he did with Desmond Ridder and Aiden O'Connell. That's insane. So, and Russell Wilson is loved to throw to the tight ends in his career. So this is a match made in heaven. I would expect this to take hold here pretty soon. Not sure when the actual period is they can go after him, but he's unrestricted. Why would he sign in Pittsburgh? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Pittsburgh is not winning next year. They can do their 10 games and exit all they want. I don't know that at this point in time that interests Russell. You could say that the Steelers are closer to winning than are the Raiders, but it can turn around relatively quickly, and they'll get the bodies in there that they need. It will become a desirable place to be again. I think the Raiders will be a destination, not for just the Vegas factor from a tourist perspective, but from a player perspective, from a coach's perspective, from a staff perspective, front office, all the personnel that makes a team go. I think it's going to be a great place to be. And I really and truly think that the Raiders are just getting started. And I think that this was an excellent move. Better than Mike McCarthy, better than some of the other choices out there, Robert Saleh even. Just an experienced guy who's had a lot of success, who's won a Super Bowl, who's been to multiple Super Bowls. And I don't know how the guy does it, but 74 years old, he still has that kind of energy. No problem there. And again, Mike McCarthy didn't get that job either.